My son is 14 now, my daughter is 11, and these two teenagers don't want to do anything in the house. They don't want to sweep, they don't want to clean, they don't want to do the dishes, they don't even want to be in the kitchen when you're cooking, they don't want to sweep the compound, they don't want to do their laundry, they don't even want to lay their own bed. Tell me why all of a sudden, years down the line, these same kids that were always excited about doing things around the house now struggle with doing all of those things. Hey you guys, welcome to yet another video. This is just a casual video. I've been thinking and I decided that I'm going to talk about what I'm thinking. And you all, if you are a parent, if you're a mom, I'm sure you can relate with the parenting aspect I'm about to talk about. Years ago, I think somewhere around 2017, 2018, 2019, when my kids were quite younger, parenting was stressful as usual, but quite interesting, because at that time they had gotten to that age where, especially my son, he had gotten to that age where I could tell him, go bring this for me. Probably maybe I'm trying to bath the sister, or I'm cooking in the kitchen, or I'm just doing stuff around the house and I need assistance with maybe little things here and there. I can actually ask him, go pick up this, or probably they poured water on the floor. I'll tell him, take the mop or take the rag and clean it off. After they finish eating, I tell him, go drop the plate in the kitchen sink or wipe the table and all of that. And they were excited to do it. Like when I say they were excited, they were beyond excited. They were always eager to help, eager to get into things and all of that. And I was really, that was the time when I was having problems with house helps, because I had a lot of living house helps who came and left for different reasons, which you all, if you are somebody who have had house helps, I'm sure you would understand the challenges. If you're one of those people who are lucky with house helps, kudos to you. But for me, someone like me, I wasn't lucky with house helps at all. But anyway, that's period in my parenting journey, I sort of realized that, oh, the kids are growing up really fast. Very soon they'll be able to do this, do that. And for that reason, I don't need to start, to keep thinking about house helps, right? All I need to do is, put in all my energy into teaching them what needs to be done, so that, they can help reduce the burden that I carry as a mother, right? So I started trying to teach them, started trying to bring them close when I'm cooking, especially my son. When I'm cooking, when I'm doing everything, I was doing all that. And they were excited. I remember when my son started washing plates, I think he was around 7 that time. And I'll tell him, leave it. He'll say, no, he wants to wash it, he wants to wash it. In order not to make him feel bad, I'll allow him to wash it. Most times he doesn't do a good job, but after he's done washing and cleaning and everything, I'll go back and redo everything again, because I didn't want him to feel like I'm restricting him, or I feel like he's not doing a good job or something like that. I wanted him to feel like he's been appreciated, his effort is appreciated, right? So I sort of encouraged it. 2018, 2019, 2020, it was interesting. 2021, 2022, I remember when they wake up in the morning and they will run around to start cleaning the house, and they tell me to start YouTube channel for them, that they want to be documenting their growth and everything. I did, because I was excited, you all. I was excited. Tell me why years down the line, it's no more what it used to be. My son is 14 now, my daughter is 11, and these two teenagers don't want to do anything in the house. They don't want to sweep, they don't want to clean, they don't want to do the dishes, they don't even want to be in the kitchen when you're cooking, they don't want to sweep the compound, they don't want to do their laundry, they don't even want to lay their own bed. Tell me why all of a sudden, years down the line, these same kids that were always excited about doing things around the house now struggle with doing all of those things. I ask them to lay their bed, they will not lay their bed. But every time I turn around, I see them on my bed. I'm like, I laid my bed. That is why you people find it comfortable or convenient to come lie on it. Why can't you lay your bed the same way, so that you would want to lie on your own bed? No. I wash my bathroom and then they want to use the bathroom. And I'm like, why can't you just simply clean your bathroom? Clean your toilet, so that it will be comfortable and convenient to use. No, they don't want to do all that. And then the other day, I think, when was that? About some weeks back, I spent time cleaning the compound, the backyard and everything. If you watched my vlog, I'm sure you would have seen where I was doing laundry and all of that. I love to keep that place clean because I do laundries there. I sit down there to relax most times. I sometimes take lectures there. Sometimes I, read there. Sometimes, it's like the only space I have in the compound that is attached to the part of the house I'm paying for, that is, that I can comfortably use as my own space, right? And so I try to keep it clean. But these kids will go outside, mess up the entire place, and you'll tell them to clean it for weeks. They will not do it. And even when they try to do it, they won't even clean it properly, right? And I've been thinking about it. If you're a parent here, this is something that has been running through my head, because one of the things I have realized is I've tried to teach them the proper way to do it. I've tried to teach them the number of times things like this needs to be done. Like, I've tried to teach how to do dishes so that you don't have the sink filled up with dishes, because one person does dishes today, tomorrow the other person, do the dishes, right? So I try to, explain to them in a way that it won't feel like it's too much work, right? The chores wouldn't be so piled up that you wake up in the morning and you're frustrated. Even to sweep the house is a problem. Like, at some point, I think last year, I was doing all of the cleaning. At some point, I was like, if I continue doing this, these kids will never learn. I need to let them do the work, right? So I decided to stop sweeping. I decided to stop cleaning. I decided to stop doing everything that needs to be done, because I wanted them to do it themselves. Like, I tell them to do it and I watch them do it. You will tell them to do it and they will tell you, okay, immediately you turn. That is it. The house can stay like that for 3 weeks. They have not picked up a broom. They would eat and they would not clean up where they ate. And I have been thinking about this. I'm trying to look back at when I was younger and see if it was the same thing. But I remember my dad using cane to flog the living hell out of me. And anyone that does not clean when you're supposed to clean, if your clothes are not, your laundry is not properly done, my mom is hitting you blue black, right? If the back of the pots are not properly washed, not like now when we don't use charcoal and all of that. Then we use firewood, we use stove, so the back of the pot is always black and you have to wash it, right? You have to mop the kitchen, because their kitchen was kitchen floors were cement. You have to clean the kitchen, the floor, clean the tables, wipe off everywhere every morning. And my daddy's policy is that you must do the dishes every night, because he hates cockroaches and rats, right? And to him, he feels like cockroaches and rats are what, these dirty dishes are what attracts cockroaches and rats, which is not a lie. And now, because we're trying to parent differently, we don't have to beat at every single time that they refuse to do what you ask them to do. But then I realized that because of there are no consequences for their disobedience, they don't seem to take you serious. I don't know. I'm just putting it out there so that if you are somebody who is going through the same thing, please just let me know in the comment, because it's driving me crazy. I'm not going to lie. And another aspect that I've noticed with these kids is the level of laziness that they exhibit. Like, these children just want to lie down all day, scrolling through social media if they have the opportunity, watching things on the laptop, on the phone if they are given the chance, or even just watch things on TV if there is electricity, right? That is just what they want to spend their time doing. They don't want to read. They don't want to do chores. They don't want to do anything around the house. They just want to relax. And I'm looking back in time and I'm trying to remember when, during my teenage age, that I found myself lying down on the bed and just relaxing. If not when they force you with cane to go have your siesta, or when you're sick, or when you have to go to bed at night. Does it make sense? Like, this whole parenting thing, this whole gentle parenting thing, sometimes it has its own disadvantages, and I'm beginning to say it seriously, because during our own time, you have to do it, because if you don't do it, you'll be lashed. You receive lashes, like you will be. But now you're trying to talk, you're trying to have a conversation, you're trying to explain to them why they need to do it, and they think you're just making too much noise. Like, it's really not making sense to me, and it's really, really frustrating me, seriously. And I'm beginning to think, because some time ago I saw some videos on TikTok where a lot of millennials and Gen Zs were talking about how their parents were being abusive and all of that, and I'm like, would you really call that being abusive? Because what we're dealing with today when it comes to gentle parenting, during my own time, I know that there was no way something like this would be happening, because there is always a cane by the corner that is prepared for you, that will get your senses together. But today you hear, people talking about how their parents bullied them and abused them because they were flogged when they were told to do something and they did not do it. Yeah, I know that to an extent, some of our parents were really, really harsh, and sometimes the punishment was way more than the crime, right? It was way more than the crime deserves, if that makes sense. But even at that, to those who their parents were reasonable enough to dish out the level of punishment or flogging that equates the crime, I still hear them talk about how it's abuse and bullying and all of that. And I'm trying to compare it with the things that we're dealing with today. The irresponsibility we're dealing today, the level of laziness we are seeing in these kids today. And I'm wondering, are we really doing the right thing? Please, if you're a parent, let me know in the comment, because my brain is about to explode. These things are not making sense to me. Like, I am parenting 2 teenagers, and at this point in my parenting journey, I think I'm losing it. Like you all, I think I'm really losing it. So please let me know in the comments, okay? I just came out here to rant. Like, this is a ranting video. I'm not dishing out any advice or anything like that. I'm just ranting. So if you can relate, please let me know in the comments, okay?